Do we know if there's any other electromagnetic super facilities around anybody else doing any sporting stuff?
There was a report of one. I can't remember what team had it, but yeah, it's getting looked into.
Yeah, the electrical substations, if you have one near any of your facilities, even just near your house. Like if there's one near your house, I'd be worried getting out of your car every single day.
Okay, yeah, you would be. There's a lot of it's been mentioned now in actual press conferences where John Lynch says, yeah, I mean, we're going to definitely look into this.
Have to.
You have to look into it. It seems like there's too much. John Lynch, ex-player, by the way. Remember, John Lynch, ex-player. Go ahead and run it.
What I would tell you, Eric, because it deals with allegedly, the health and safety of our players, I think you have to look into everything. And so our guys have been. We've been reaching out to anyone and everyone to see, does a study exist, other than a guy sticking an apparatus underneath a fence and coming up with a number that I have no idea what that means. That's what we know exists. We've heard that debunked. So yes, we will look into it. We have. The health and safety of our players is of the utmost priority. We pour into it. Our ownership, Jed, tremendous in terms of resources, and we'll always be cognizant of things. I know that a lot of games have been won at this facility, since it opened, and so. But yeah, we aren't going to turn a blind eye. We'll look into everything.
Hey, listen, yeah, I'll definitely look into it because I don't want the players that I'm paying a lot of money to potentially be getting injured by something that is nowhere near their own control or getting set up to get injured by something that is nowhere near their control. It's fascinating because then he said, is there studies? I don't know if anybody's looked into this. This might be the first time that we've ever heard of this as a society. It feels like we're all learning about it together. If anybody can point me in the direction of somebody who might have more information on this. And I think what's going to happen is you're probably going to hear more from people in different places, potentially, to see what's real, what isn't. And then, like anything, there's probably a lot of money on one side as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, fascinating development here, as injuries are literally your biggest risk whenever you're running an NFL team. Obviously, you have storm risk and other type of stuff outside of your business, I guess, that could potentially happen. But whenever it comes to how much money you pay people and players versus the cost of whenever they're not there and what it does to your business as a whole and the devastation that takes place to your entire operation, especially if you lose Micah Parsons. Not that this has anything to do with that particular thing, but injuries are your biggest can change the entire trajectory of your business, of legacies, of futures, of the league, everything like that. So if there is something from this that leads to the biggest risk for these NFL owners, you would think that they would want, for the good of their businesses, to have this potentially be corrected, is the hope in this entire thing. What I fear might happen, because it does feel like this happens, boy, there's going to be stats on coming from, because this side's not going to want to, just yeah, you're right. We'll just change. That never really
That's
happened.
already, there's been narratives out there have been like, they hired a new PT staff or whatever the same year that this happened. And stuff.
There's always going to be, because the electric substation, they have people that would like to see that thing have success in that.
You know what
I mean? So,
Powers the stadium.
Yeah, there's going to.
I was going to say.
So there's going to be a lot of people that are going to come back the other way, and I think you're going to hear a lot of players be like, "No, I think this is a direct correlate. I think this is what's been happening. I think you're going to continue to hear that, but then you're going to hear the counter argument, and then what's going to actually happen. At this exact moment, I would like to predict that we will never get an actual answer, but I hope that's not the case. I hope we do find out what's right for all of society and these players and athletes who are risking their bodies already. They don't need anything else trying to hurt them in the process.
Yeah, and I appreciate, John Lynch saying, hey, they're gonna look into it. They're gonna see what they can do. And I don't want to be naive, but did you see how big that electrical substation was in comparison to the stadium? So even if, let's say that 100% this is contributing to this, what are they going to do? They're going to pick this thing up and move it?
Practice in scuba suits.
Well, yeah, you're going to, because guess what? That electrical substation, I don't think that thing's going anywhere. It's powering the stadium. It's probably powering quite a bit of homes around the area.
Well, then is there one at other stadiums? Genuinely, I have not done the research. It's like, there's going to be I think there's going to be a lot of this, but I appreciate John Lynch, ex-player, being like, we would certainly like to know if something is making our investment not be available anymore. Like, that is certainly something NFL teams should be looking into. But to his point, who's going to be the authority on this?
Nuclear
physicists.
When the college kids kick and you ask what their major is, a lot of time it's
something. How come none of them have really given me an answer?
That's what I'm saying.
When I say, what are you going to do? Are they like taught immediately to say nothing whenever they have like these
kids,
majors?
These kids probably, they don't know. These kids
know
change
shit.
their majors 10 times during their, college run. So that's just what, that day, that's kind of what they're interested in.
Okay, so we don't even know if that's necessarily any of these majors.
That year they are that major, but
What does that mean? What are you going to do?
I don't know. Ask me next year.
Trying to figure it out still.
ask me when I'm a senior, because I feel like you always like, for some reason the kickers always like freshmen or sophomores.
You know why?
Because they
To get there, it's like a rite of passage, it feels like. Like, hey, it's your duty to represent for our university, I think.
Yeah.
It's like a younger, because you got to be in there. Used to be early morning. It did start to become, it felt like overnight, and then it was like 3-4 days. It's almost like in the Greek life, I feel like the youngs have to go through something to get in, right? Everybody talks about it. Feels like that is just kind of like a university sports fan base, fanatical fan base, kind of like
Go prove it.
Hey, yeah, you got to go represent for on game day. Feels like that's what it's become, which game day, wildly lucky and thankful for, because having a crowd show up at that thing is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, kind of important.
And they show up and they represent, I think. And it does feel like they're all trying to represent for like the school. And I think it is mostly the youngs. Like it does feel like it's young. That's why that yell practice was like 6-year-olds to like 95-year-olds.
crazy.
Midnight the night before.
All in.
Crazy.
No electrical substations near that place. It is definitely
You're
going
right.
to get.
I don't think there is.
Just wind
It's going to get
factors.
very loud because a Super Bowl team is going to have to practice there. So if one of those
One of the coaches is going to say something.
it being this loud, this week, 2 weeks out from teams having to work there, like you would assume they're already maybe looking at like a USC but I don't know where any of those schools are in relation to
USC's very
San
Way
Fran.
far away.
Yeah.
Stanford
Yeah,
would be up
Stanford.
there.
San Jose State.
Cal, Berkeley, right? Up
Yeah.
there.
Yep.
Oakland in that area. So Cal, Berkeley's up
Cal's
in that
probably
area.
the closest.
Cal, what a place.